How is it going, guys? Slippery Jim here. Welcome back to my hardcore RLCraft playthrough. In the last episode, I crafted and enchanted this pretty amazing fiery dragonbone greatsword. And I actually put 14 different enchants on this thing. It's pretty epic, and this episode we're going to be testing out exactly how much damage this thing can do. Now, I've asked you guys to let me know if you have any suggestions for what I should name this greatsword. I've got a couple of suggestions so far. One is pretty good, which is Prometheus. Prometheus was actually a titan who gave the gift of fire to man, I believe. So that seems fairly fitting for a fiery greatsword. But if any of you other guys want to leave a comment in this video about what I should name this greatsword, I'll probably name it in the next episode. In between episodes, I also found another enchantment that I put on this thing, which is called Envenomed. And I put on the highest level, Envenomed 3. What this does is it adds a poison and wither effect to enemies. Most enemies, probably 99.9%, are going to die in one hit from this thing. But if there's any bosses or anything with really big health pool, I guess that's going to help poison and wither them. So I thought I would add that. So now I have 15 enchants on this thing, which is pretty crazy. Speaking of enchants, in between episodes I also put Strength and Vitality 5 on my chest armor of my my regular Tide Guardian armor here. So what that does is it basically gives you extra health. So if you look at my current health when I'm not wearing that enchanted piece of armor, I have 3 rows of hearts, or 2.5 really. And if you look at the individual body parts as well, I have between 7 and 8 hearts per body part. Like the head is on 8 hearts and stuff like that. But if I actually put on this this enchantment, Strength and Vitality 5, and we go in, we can actually see now it's got too many hearts to even put hearts. It's got numbers instead, and it goes up to 22 for most parts, which is insane when you compare that to 7 to 8 hearts. 22 is just crazy. So that's going to add a lot of survivability. Definitely recommend trying to find that, or to breed villagers to get that enchantment if you're doing this mod pack, because it's definitely going to be useful. One other thing that I did in between episodes, which is worth mentioning, is you might remember I talked about the Mortalitas enchantment, which I have on this greatsword. Mortalitas, I have the highest level, which is Mortalitas 8. What that does is it gives you a small amount of damage for every mob that you kill using a sword with that enchantment. And if you happen to die with that enchantment, you also lose a small amount of damage. But I mean, if I die, it's probably going to be game over since I'm playing hardcore. But anyway, you basically want to get kills to get more damage on this sword. And so between episodes, I actually went around to the new mega battle towers, which are now in this mod pack, and they have tons of spawners in them. So I actually got a ton of kills. I think at the end of last episode, I had 10,599 mob kills. So you can see now I've got a lot more than that. So I should have theoretically leveled up this to be quite high damage with that enchantment applied. So we are going to test this thing out in this episode, but I'm also going to be talking about the updates to the mod pack, because I have updated to the latest version, which is 2.8.2, came out a couple of weeks ago. And this does introduce quite a lot of new changes and some new features and stuff like that. One of the things that it did is it's revamped the foods. So basically now it's deleted all of the Lycanite's food that was in my inventory here, unfortunately. Even the battle burritos and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to collect that up again and craft it all over again. But I'm not sure exactly what they've changed with that, because they did nerf the battle burritos and stuff like that quite a bit. But the reason that they've given for doing it is that now it's supposed to be more incentive to craft the high level foods. So to me that sounds like maybe they've buffed it again a little bit. I'm not sure exactly, but we'll work it out. Before we take off though, and I'm going to talk about some other changes as well, there is one thing that I do want to craft That's actually one of the items from the runes that I've been collecting. By the way, I did find the last rune that I needed to complete the golem set of armor. I haven't crafted it yet though, but I have all 4 runes that I need for that. And also I've now got all of the different colors of dragon scale for the dragon armors. I still have not found a teal sea serpent though, to the point where I'm starting to wonder if they're even in the pack, if there's a bug or something, because I've got every other type of sea serpent. Like I've literally got 3.5 stacks of the blue sea serpent scale, but not a single teal one, which is pretty crazy. But anyway, they must be they must be out there somewhere. I just haven't got lucky and found them. Also in between episodes, when I've been fishing, I've been breeding up the max level gold bookworms over at my old base where the fishing setup is. So I now have enough of those, I think, to be able to craft the gold bookworm armor. So eventually I want to craft all of the rare armors in the game and have them on display down here in my farm area. I'm starting to put down bricks as well. It's a bit of pathway around the edges, but I ran out of clay. One other thing too, I managed to breed up an advanced protection 4 villager, which is pretty awesome. So I already had the advanced protection 1, but advanced protection 4 is going to be awesome because that's the max level. If I create a new set of armor, which I probably will, because I want to put advanced protection, advanced mending, and obviously stuff like strength and vitality on it. So we'll probably end up making another set of the sea serpent armor and also a set of the golem armor. So I might change the colors from the red and blue to something else, but that's in a future episode anyway. Okay, so anyway, what I want to actually make out of these runes is a couple, well, pretty much one item, which is this, the Ender Talisman. So this says it teleports you where you're looking. So it sort of sounds like the Rod of Discord that you can get in Terraria. So you basically point it somewhere and it teleports you to where you point it, which could be interesting for getting around inside places like battle towers or, the end cities and stuff like that as an alternative to calling in a mount or something like that. So we're going to try this out and see if it's any good. So before we make this though, we need the Ender Gem, which is one of the recipe items. So for this, we need this stuff. We need white stained glass, nether bricks. Okay, let's see if we can find some of this stuff. Grass block. One of those. I think we needed sandstone. Got one white stained glass block there. And we also needed, I think, stone axe. What else did we need? An emerald, a potato, stone brick stairs. That's pretty much it. So, grab one of those. Potato. By the way, I've found an even better way of getting emeralds, which is their new mega battle towers, because they have a bunch of, I think they're called illagers in them, which drop emeralds when they die. So the illager spawners in them basically mean you can get tons of emeralds that way, which is pretty cool for trading with my villager trading hall. Okay, so let's see. Try and remember where everything goes here. Oh, there we go. How about that? Got it right first go. Maybe it doesn't matter what order you put stuff in. Anyway, we have our Ender Gem. So, now we need to make the recipe for this, which is a block of redstone, nether star, baked potato, Block redstone. I have vendor, I think, was in there. Rotten flesh. Was the slab as well. Grey glazed terracotta and a crafting table. So, grey glazed terracotta. I think we need... Well, I've got some terracotta there. I've only got light grey. I think we can use coral for this as well. Just see. We do this. And then I just need to cook that up, I think. Hopefully that works. Pretty crazy looking block. Alright, now we should just be able to put all this together. Okay, there. Cool. So we've got our Ender Talisman. This should be pretty interesting. Let's try this out. Wow. Oh, it has a durability. I wonder if I can put an unbreaking enchant on this thing. I should have a bunch of these. Maybe? Can't we enchant this thing? Would be good if we could. Oh, we can. Interesting. Can we put mending on it as well? Cool. I think you can recharge these with the let's take that out of there with these things, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. Let's just test out the range on this thing. So say I wanted to go over that hill over there. Oh, that's out of range. Okay, what about... That's out of range? Fair enough. Yeah, it'd be pretty OP. Otherwise, it's got a pretty good range though. I would say that's about 50 blocks. Maybe more than 50 blocks. 100 blocks maybe? That's out of range there? Okay. Interesting. Pretty cool. This is going to be awesome for exploring the end cities and stuff like that. Okay, now I'll talk about one of the other changes. There have been a lot of Lycanites changes since I updated the mod pack. If we call in one of our rocks here, Goldie, you can see that they've actually changed the way they look a fair bit. I kind of liked the old way they looked, to be honest, but I don't know. I guess he's added a little bit more detail and stuff like that. Which is interesting. But the other thing with these is, I don't know if you can, let's have a look here. Just oh, they've added the ability to go up and down now instead of just aiming where you want to fly. And there's a specific dismount button, which is sort of makes it similar to other mounts from other mods, like for instance Ice and Fire. So that's pretty good. But they also have XP, and you actually level these guys up. So you can see right now he's on 0 of 1,000. And how you level them up is if you go into the bestiary and look up rocks. Basically every creature in Lycanites is now associated with an element type. So for rocks it's order. If we were to look at, say, Rykos, that's earth. If we were to look at Quetzalcoatl's, that's their earth as well. Moroks are order. And essentially that what you do to level them up is you take their element. So if we go back to our rock here, which is order for the rocks, you basically have to feed them the charges that correspond with that order. So if we look at all the charges that I've been saving up, and I'm glad I did save these up because I didn't think they would come in useful, because they were only used for like shooting out of dispensers and stuff like that. But now they're used to level items up, Lycanites items up. Not just the mounts, but also the Lycanites equipment parts, which I'll talk about in a second. But if we try and find one here that's order, I'm pretty sure it's, let's have a look here. Have I got any? Oh, here we go. So they have multiple elements, some of them. So here we can see this one includes order. And I think this is the only charge type that has order in it. So to level up rocks is actually going to be pretty difficult, because you actually get these arcane laser ones only from the observers, I think they're called, which are, let's have a look if you can find them here. Yeah, beholders. These guys right here are the only ones that drop any type of charge that has order in it. And these only come out in mountainous regions at night. They're pretty rare actually. So that's kind of annoying, because leveling up my main everyday mount, the rocks, is going to be pretty hard. So we'll see how much we can level this guy up with 9 of these charges anyway. So we got nearly halfway. I'm not sure what their max level is either. If it's similar to the creatures in the world, it might be about 9 or something like that. Anyway, we'll get rid of him. So I'd like to be able to level up one of my flying mounts to the max if possible. Let's have a look here. Ideally like the Quetzalcoatl or the Morok. So this guy is earth, this guy's order. So that's kind of annoying. So I guess it's going to be, we'll see if we've got many of these earth type charges. I've got lots of these. Phase, shadow, chaos, void, water, frost. Okay, there's some earth ones there. These are a bit easier to get because they're just from the clinks. What else have we got here? We've got these. Mudshot charges. Oh, that's not even a charge. Don't know what that's doing in there. Let's we'll just put this in here, I guess. So, let's call in this guy. And what are you set to right now? Sit, passive. Ah. Passive, sit. Okay. So I'm going to feed him all of these. I reckon we'll probably be able to level him up several levels with the amount that we've got. Feed him all of these. Oops. Okay. He's level 3. So he's got 146 health. There's level 4 right there. 158 health. But it's not just health that it levels up, it also levels up their abilities, their speed and stuff like that. Is that the max? Oh no, he's still going. Maybe we can get him to level 5. Oh, so close. Well, that's pretty cool though. Alright, let's dismiss him. Anyway, I'm going to have to work on getting a lot more of these charges to be able to level stuff up. Just to get them more speed, more abilities, more health and all that stuff. Sounds pretty cool. Okay, so we are going to take off. We are going to be looking around, seeing what we can find. Because there are a lot of new structures as well in this update. Let's just sleep through the night real quick. And we're going to be testing out the damage that this sword does as well. Alright. We're going to head to the right to the outskirts of my explored area on the map right now. And we'll take a look around from out here. See if we can find some of the new structures and stuff like that. So we'll just call in Goldie. Take a look around, see what we can find. So yeah, while we're exploring, let's just see. We might go up northeast. But I'll talk about some of the changes that have come in. So there's a sea serpent down there, but I'm pretty sure that's just a regular bronze one, maybe, or red one. It's definitely not teal, anyway. So 2.8.2, there's a new boss that's been introduced called Amalga Lich that you have to summon. And I'm really pleased they added this boss because I actually was thinking of when we get towards the end of the end game, where we're fighting the bosses and stuff like that. There's a new structure down there as well, by the way. Looks kind of interesting. I don't know if that would have much loot in it though. To me it looks like just it might have an interior to it, but a chest right there. Let's take a look, because I've never been in this one. Yeah, I was thinking of actually updating Lycanites myself right at the end of the mod pack, when there's nothing left to do, in case it breaks the game, just so I could fight that new boss. But they've actually introduced him into the mod pack anyway. This is all junk loot. Let's see if there's anything else up here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty powerful boss as well. You have to build a summoning altar to summon it in. So it's pretty involved. What's going on here? What are these little mini chests? What the heck? MHF's chest's head. Huh? I've got no idea what this is. I guess I'll take a couple of them. Most of the loot looks like it's junk loot for this place, but oh, there's villagers in there. Pretty cool. Yeah, speaking of the new points of interest that they've introduced, this is probably one of them, I would say, because I've not seen this before the update. But what they've introduced is, we're heading this direction. They've added some new ice belly structures, the plains camp, plains windmill, small underground skeleton, whatever that is, friendly outpost, maybe that could be what that is, mega battle tower, and small town. There's also a new Lycanites dungeon, which is the Aberrant station, which has it's like a blue colored brick to it, and it's got new bosses in it, stuff like that. So that looks pretty cool. Bosses have been given a health boost. Scaling health was had a bug where they were limited to 2,048 health, but now they go all the way up to around 5,000. There's double melee damage for all bosses as well, so they're more dangerous. The Lycanite dungeon bosses got a buff, making them more challenging. They're basically harder to fight the deeper in the dungeon you go and stuff like that. What else? They've tweaked a few of the enchantments. So the rapid fire enchantment for bows goes up to a max of 2 instead of 5, because it can be applied along with the infinity just to balance things up. I don't actually use that one. I use pull speed 3, which is a switch bow enchantment, so it doesn't affect me at all. I can still fire super fast with the bow I've got. What else? They fixed the plain city structure. Towers no longer burn when it generates, so that was a much needed fix. They've used glowstone instead of fire, which is makes sense. There's also a chance for the Lycanites dungeons to spawn towers rather than underground dungeons, which I've never seen yet, but sounds interesting. They've added a boomer, whatever that is. I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to keep an eye out. There's all new models for Venturaptors, Rocks, Reapers, Jabberwocks, Cocodemons, and some other mobs apparently. What else? There's new mobs, the Pixen, the Neck, Crake, and the Archvile, which I think is a nether mob. I'm not sure what they look like. I get the impression they're probably quite a big monster of some sort. We could test our sword out on this Cyclops down here probably. Let's just, because these guys have a lot of health. Just dismiss Goldie. Alright, so I'm not sure if we're going to see the actual damage numbers pop up, but we should be able to subtract it from whatever he's got right now, which is 202 health, right? Okay. Okay. So that was more than 200 damage. right there with one shot from my sword. I'm not sure if that was a critical hit or not. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Because they did nerf a lot of the enchantments fair bit. So you could no longer make super godly swords. But this thing's still pretty powerful, I would say. Okay, we'll keep exploring around in the same sort of direction, I guess. Oh, there's a windmill over there. Maybe that's the new structure, that windmill. Oh no. Is this new? Pretty sure this building was already in. Yeah, this is the same. It's the same building that was already in. The villager generation. But anyway, what else is new? There's now variants and subspecies, which basically replaces the color and skin. As far as I can tell, it's pretty much the same system, just slightly different terminology. So, yeah. There's a couple of new types of creatures that are much more powerful though, kind of like boss creatures, which you have to watch out for, and they drop soul stones as well, which is pretty awesome. Have we got? Okay, let's try out the sword on this battle tower golem. If we drop down on this guy, these usually have about 250 health. How much health has it got? 251. Okay. Yeah, we're doing at least 250 damage with this sword. I'm not sure if I'm doing critical hits though, which is possible. Guess we'll grab that, why not? Not really interested in the rest of this. Rest of that loot. I'm thinking of actually building a an old school vanilla beacon at my base out of diamond blocks or something at some point, probably in the near future. Although I do get most of the buffs already from my my pixies, but I thought it would look pretty cool. Cool. I think it's safe to say that we can do like 250 plus damage with this sword, which is pretty awesome. Okay, we'll keep traveling, maybe east. See what's out here. Hopefully we can find some more new structures. Okay, now where did I get up to with the patch notes here? So Lycanite's equipment. They've basically made it so that all of the equipment parts, instead of dropping in randomly in tier 1, 2, or 3 like they used to, they now drop only in tier 1, and you actually level up the Lycanite's parts using a new piece of equipment called an infuser. And so, say you wanted a level 3, like Vapula crystal or whatever, right? You would actually have to stick it in the infuser and then put the charges in that correspond with the type of element. So if we look at the Vapula crystal here, it's actually a gravity element that you use to charge it. So you would have to find whatever type of charge corresponds with gravity and then feed that in the infuser to upgrade these. So these basically level up the same way that mounts level up, pretty much using the element, which is interesting. So I guess it adds a little bit more of a grind. I don't mind that too much because what is going on right now with the... Why is my rock invisible? That's really weird. I guess something's rendering in over there. Let's just give it a little while I talk about the rest of the patch notes here. You can also dye equipment parts, which sounds interesting. I kind of like to try that out. We could dye the we could dye this thing, maybe some of the parts on this thing. So, you know, I could dye the Ventoraptor skull or something to red, or see how that looks. Trouble is, whenever you actually dismantle things in the equipment forge, it actually removes the name, so I'd have to rename it again, but I guess that's not such a big deal. Alright, we'll keep going in this direction, I guess. Should we kill this thing? I've already got enough red, but I guess we'll get a few more. Because why not? I haven't been using this very much, have I? See if we can get back to... Oh, there's an Azure. I wouldn't mind taming that guy. Let's try and get to shore, because I haven't got an Azure one. That's a rare variant, or whatever they're called these days. Please don't peck me. Avian. Oh, that was easy. Cool. So now we have, let's get rid of Goldie. Dismiss. We've now got another variant of the Raikou, which is pretty cool. Let's wait till I get my spirit back up. This looks like it might be a high level. Yeah, it's a level 2 one. That's interesting. So I thought they would all be level 1. But it looks like they're still random levels when you tame these guys. The blue looks really good. I don't think I've ever seen one of these. As you can see, the model of these guys has changed a little bit as well. They look kind of, I don't know, goofier. I need to put a saddle on this guy. The saddle, some pet armor. And give him a chest. Go away, you. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I love those wings. They look sweet. Okay, what were we doing? We're heading east, weren't we? See what's out here. Okay, what else have we got here to mention with the patch notes? There's a rare subspecies called the Crimson Epion. The Epion, I think, is the Loch Ness Monster looking creature. It's just, I think this is a regular blue, but we'll kill it anyway. Deep blue. Still looking for that teal. The search continues for the teal sea serpent. Yeah, there's a Crimson Epion, a powerful Epion mini boss. It says that does not. Oh no, hang on. Epion are the yeah, I'm mistaken. They're not the Loch Ness monster looking thing. They're the bat looking thing that has a lifesteal type attack. Yeah, so these do not explode or burn in sunlight. Has increased health and fire rate. So it'd be pretty cool to try and find one of those and tame it if possible. There's also a phosphorescent Chupacabra, a menacing Chupacabra mini boss that's incredibly fast and fires chaos orbs out of its oozing mouth. And I have come across one of those between episodes. It was pretty hard to take down actually. It was pretty crazy. It was probably harder than a dragon even. And I think you can probably tame it, but I ran out of treats, so I wasn't able to tame it. Just ended up killing it. What else? What else have we got here in the notes? The Zoatar is completely redesigned. It's now a dragon, and it basically has a mount ability. You can use it as a mount, and it has the ability to like raise its wings to block damage, which is pretty interesting. It doesn't fly though. If it flew, it would be really awesome. The food buffs and debuffs have been reworked and rebalanced. So it says, should give players more incentive to craft the higher tier food items now. Yeah, it's not more specific than that, so I'll just have to figure out what that means. There's new fluids, acid and poison pools generate. So that's interesting. I'm not sure what they would be used for. What else? Striders can be used as mounts, so I'll have to remember to put a saddle on my strider. And they have a pickup ability, and they apply their underwater breathing ability to whatever they're carrying. So it means you can basically transport things like, say, villages and stuff underwater. So they'll be able to breathe underwater if they're being carried by the strider, which is really interesting. I'm not sure why you want to do that, but it's possible. What else? The Vapula crystal now harvests as basically, if we look at, where's my crystal hammer? So you can see now it says the no, that's not it. The pickaxe is now cross by 15 by 8 by 8. It used to be something like 30 by 30 by 30. A huge, like, chunk-sized block that it used to mine, but now they've changed it for some reason. I think it was to reduce lag on servers where people were using it for mining, which kind of sucks, because I actually like that ability, but now it just does a big, like, cross-shaped section, unfortunately. The patch notes also say that the pet armor is drastically increased in effectiveness, which is pretty cool. So hopefully it means that stuff like my rocks and that are not going to die as quickly. I wonder if we should hang out here and see if we can get... Let's just kill that dragon down there. I guess we use the sword. Get rid of you. Let's see what our sword does against this. Oh, crap. I have to... Oh, no. How much... Okay, he's biting me right now. That's not cool. Go away, you. I want to see his health. It's around the 264... What was it, 400 something? 400 something. Like 417, something like that. Right. So that's a starting point on this guy. Let's get a good chop on him if he lets me out of his jaws. Bam. 1 hit. 2 hits. 3 hits. He's nearly dead. 4 hits. Okay. So 4 hits to kill him. I think. If I connected. What's shooting me right now? Go away. Yeah, I'll have to probably play that back to work out exactly what kind of damage I was doing to this guy, but it was pretty substantial. Theoretically, if we were doing 200 plus damage per hit, should have killed him in 2 or 3 shots, right? So I'm not sure if the 200 plus damage was a critical hit or not. Probably was, I would say, which means that our regular standard hits might be hitting for around the 100 and something. Groovy. Okay. Is it going to get dark soon? Let's go get a drink over here. What else? They've changed the way the Leach Effect works as well. So the Leach Effect, for instance, on the Crystal Hammer and the Spark of Darkness sword, those Lycanites pieces of equipment that have the Leech, that only heals for an exact amount based on its level. So level 3 does something like 3 hearts. I think that's a nerf. But anyway, we're using Lifesteal 4 on this thing now, which is pretty awesome. There's also a new bauble called the Fairy Dew and Dwarf Stout, which permanently turn you into a fairy or a dwarf, I guess. And reading through the baubles information, it also says that they feed you and give you a small amount of water, which intrigues me because there's nothing more annoying at the moment in this pack than having to constantly drink all the time. Food's not quite as bad, but the drinking is kind of annoying, constantly having to drink. Especially when you're hitting stuff all the time and whatnot. So I might actually look into crafting those. The trouble is to make the fairy dew or whatever, which is probably the one I would make. You need dragon's breath, and to get dragon's breath you actually need to get that off the ender dragon. So I would have to respawn the ender dragon, but I definitely want to try that out. And I was going to respawn the ender dragon at some point in the future anyway, because I've never done it before. I kind of wanted to try that out. Apart from that, there's also a mod introduced called RL Tweaker, which is supposed to fix several broken enchantments. And according to the patch notes, fixes large structures taking forever to generate, which was definitely an issue with stuff like the floating island, village, or town, really. Some of those big structures like the Aztec temple, the temple where I'm living right now is my base. Whenever you encounter one of those for the first time, it like freezes, or it sort of, pretty much freezes the game while it generates for a good couple of minutes. But now it's quite a lot quicker apparently. And apparently there was a memory leak that was fixed as well. So I have noticed that every now and then when you were playing, it would just start freezing every couple of seconds, and you would have to completely shut down Minecraft and restart it from fresh, which was super annoying. So hopefully some of those freezing issues have been fixed, but there are still some problems with lag and stuff like that, I've noticed, even in the current version of the mod pack. I'm thinking I might hang out here in the mountains until it gets dark, because I want to see if we can find some of those beholders. What's shooting me right now? Yeah, I want to try and find some of the beholders so I can get some of those charges to level up my rocks with. So you can see we got a chaos charge off that Argus, which is pretty sweet. I guess I could stick some stuff in one of these shulker boxes. Grab that back. We'll just hang out a little bit and see if we can find some of those guys. They don't always spawn at night though. It's kind of hard to find these guys. There is a boss. One of the Like Knight's bosses is one of these dudes. I've actually tamed him back when you could tame the Like Knight's bosses. I think he's this guy here. I don't know if these guys would drop something if I killed them. Kill this guy. Yeah, I don't think I can kill him because he's my mount. But, yeah, maybe we'll get a few of these to spawn at night. We'll see. If I can, I might be able to level up my rock, my golden rock to the next level. But it's going to take a long time to get enough charges to level him up to maximum. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well guys, I hung out here overnight, but not a single beholder spawned in. This is definitely the type of biome where they spawn in at night. But like I said before, I have found them to be relatively rare mobs. So it's going to be really difficult to level up the rocks and anything else that relies on the charges that they drop. Anyway, we might continue exploring a little bit here. I have marked a few of the new, or I think they're the new points of interest on the map. So we might kind of head in these directions and check them out. I haven't had a chance to actually go inside them or anything. I've just kind of marked them as I've flown past. So we'll check them out. And I also want to see if I can find one of the new mega battle towers to show you guys, because they are pretty cool. Really, probably one of the best ways to get XP at the moment. And probably the best way to get emeralds as well. These things are pretty cool. This is not a new structure though. This is one that was in the pack from the beginning. More or less just a decorative looking statue. Pretty cool design though. Yeah, we'll head down to this thing. I'm not sure if it's a dungeon or what this thing is, but I flew past and I thought it looked pretty cool, so we might check it out. This definitely looks like it might be the new windmill. Yeah, it's definitely new because it's got all of these wheat fields around it. This looks pretty cool. This is the first time I've actually come across one of these. So we might actually check this out and see if there's any loot inside of it. Looks like it's populated by villagers, so there's probably not going to be any monster spawners or anything. We'll have a look. Interesting. A lot of what is that? That looks like half a door. I think that's bugged out a little bit. Oh, this is the I think this is supposed to be the shaft. This doesn't look like it's generated quite correctly though. Cartographer? I'm stuck on something here. Yeah, I'd say that this, unless it's supposed to spawn in or ruined, I'd say that this hasn't quite generated correctly. Icebelly or whoever created this structure probably needs to fix a few things, unless this is just a problem with the world generation. But yeah, it looks like a lot of these blocks kind of glitching out on me. I want to see what's up the top there though. I didn't see a way to get up there, so we might actually fly up there. Actually, I can use my new Ender Talisman to get up there. I don't think there's an actual staircase here though. So it's probably just more decorative. Pretty cool though. I like the way it looks from the outside. Definitely. I'm stuck on something here. I'm gonna have to chop my way out. Okay, this is kind of annoying. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Can I go through there, or let's go around this way. I actually need more of these bricks. I think there might be a cooldown on this thing. Oh yeah, there's definitely a cooldown on it. which is fair enough, I guess. Otherwise, you could just teleport back and forth, confuse enemies and stuff. Okay, I'm speaking of confused. I don't know what's going on here, but right, I need to get out of here if I can. There we go. Dragon? Let's just call in a rock here. Oh, it might be invisible. Alright. So yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I gotta say, it looks pretty impressive, but that particular one right there is super glitchy inside. Just with the way it's generated. And there's not exactly any cool loot or anything like that in them. So it's more of a decorative structure, I would say. Okay. So where were we going? We were going down to this, the ice castle. But yeah, it looks really good. But I don't know. I don't know. Something's slightly wrong with that one. Oh, something's generating here. This will be interesting to see what this is. So yeah, the really huge mega structures, apparently they used to take about 2 minutes to actually render in, but now they just take like 20 seconds or something. So there's still a delay, but it's not as huge a delay as it used to be. I don't know. Not sure. Not sure exactly what was spawning in there. Let's see if we can find it. I mean, there's a dragon down there, but definitely shouldn't cause any lag. Might be out here somewhere. Oh. Well, my armor didn't help much. My pet armor didn't really help much in that situation. You gonna land? Come on down, dragon. And there's a lot of cinders around. Alright, let's take this guy out. See how much health it's got first. Where are you, dragon? 415, I think. How much damage did we do there? Where's the health bar? 200 and something. Okay, so we two-shot that one. That's pretty decent. I wonder if we can get Dragon's Breath off these ice and fire dragons. Might be something to check out. Alright, let's just get out of here. I can't be bothered fighting all the embers. Yeah, this was the, I think this was the... Was this it here? Yeah, this is it here. So this is a little ice tower that I found, which I thought was just another roguelike dungeon, but it actually has a farm around it, which made me think that it's probably a different type of structure. Let's take a look at this. Interesting. There's just one chest up the top here. And some ice windows. That's it. It's pretty cool, I guess. This is probably another one of the more decorative type structures. But it's not a roguelike dungeon. It's pretty cool. Oh crap! Stupid creeper. Alright, so I've got a couple of others marked here as well that I want to check out a little bit closer. Let's have a look here. Probably over here. There was a mansion right here that I wanted to check out. So we might fly over to that, see what it is. Yeah, this place here. This is definitely new. I haven't come across one of these before. It looks like it might be... Oh, look at that. It's got some weird stuff in there. Not sure what this liquid is called over here, but... Doesn't seem to be harming me. This is pretty cool. Got some books in here. Bit of a bar area, I guess. Might actually use that saddle to replace the one I took out of here. That's where we came from. Okay, let's go up the stairs here. I guess it's just like a fancy village. Which is pretty cool. Got a few enchantment books here as well, which is pretty awesome. just chuck some of this stuff in here. Oh, interesting. So whatever this stuff is, looks like it spawns those etchitics like crazy. I don't think we got any creature parts out of that. Groovy! Alright, let's get back on the rock and see what else we can find. We might head up northwest. See what's over this way. So down here, I'm pretty sure this is one of the new mobs that they've introduced. This weird looking thing here. Let's just check it out. Yeah, the crake. Oh, it drops meat. I wonder if you can make a special type of food with this. Be interesting to see what, if any, buffs that gives you, but there was a whole bunch of them down here as well. They're very weird. Weird looking things. Oh. Interesting. Looks like we've got the new Aberration Dungeon in this area somewhere. Wonder where it is. I think it's down there. Oh no, over here? Yeah, this is the new Aberration Stone Lycanite's Dungeon, this one right here. Pretty cool. We might actually come back to this one in the next episodes and check it out. But yeah, it's looks like it's got like purple and blue stone going on. Pretty cool. I might actually find the waystone here and we can come back to it quicker by teleporting. Cool. All right, let's keep heading north. See what's out this way. We've got an emerald dragon over here. Okay, we do hit that one. That was pretty awesome. I really like the way these sapphire scales look. They look pretty nice actually. See what we can find over in this area. Oh, look at this. This is the giant city. This was around prior to the latest patch, but as I mentioned earlier, they actually fixed this spawning in pretty much burnt out. Because what would happen is they'd have fires going in the towers, and the towers are made of wood, and so they would just burn as soon as it spawned in. But I think they replaced the lighting with glowstone. There's a dragon down there as well in that corner there. A sleeping dragon. Let's rescue the city, shall we? I'm just going to mark this on the map because it's pretty cool. This is the first one I've found that hasn't been destroyed by fire. Pretty much. Let's see if we can take this dragon out real quick without it doing any damage. Nice. Man, my sword is so OP. It's like pretty much 2 shots any level 3 dragon. Let's see if we can harvest the scales here as well. It's kind of tricky. Keep picking up this debris. Let's chuck this out here. I mainly want to get the skull and the scales. I always try and collect the skull of any dragons that I kill so that I can keep them. Okay, let's just put some of this loot away maybe. Chuck some of this garbage out. Get organized here. Alright, that's pretty cool though. Apparently they also improved the loot in these big cities because it used to be pretty ordinary. You could find some basic stuff, you know, that might be good if you just spawned in. Might as well take these out as well and grab the Arasaur meat so we can make some battle burritos again. Nice. This is another of the new points of interest. I think this is called the Plains Camp. It looks like some big tents, but once again, like the generation is really glitchy. Like I'm getting stuck on blocks here. I think there's invisible blocks or something going on with these new locations, but it doesn't look like the loot's that great. Oh yeah, okay, Umbrium ingots. That's pretty interesting, I guess. Some horses, beds and stuff like that. I guess it'd be a good place if you needed wool. Got a well over here as well. Let's check this out. Huh. It's got ladders going down. I wonder if there's something down there. Does this lead somewhere interesting? Let's have a quick look here. So I've got some gold ore. Okay. The bottom of the well is all pretty much gold ore. And then we've got some weird lighting blocks. I'm not sure what the idea is here with this, but kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah. Let's try and get out of here. See if I can teleport out. Whoa, that was close. I didn't quite hit the spot though with this thing. I'm not going to be able to climb past this missing ladder block here. Let's see if we can... there we go. I'll tell you what, this Ender Talisman is pretty sweet. I wish I'd made it earlier. It's really good for getting out of those little situations. What do we got over here? Oh! A beholder! Sweet! Let's take this guy out. Let's see if it dropped the charge for me. Yep. Here we go. Beautiful. I wonder if I should... we got 2 charges off that one. I wonder if I should hang around here. Oh, there's another one over there. These are pretty rare, actually. There we go. Let's take him out. Good stuff. I don't think that one dropped anything, though. Let's have a quick look down here. Did it drop anything? Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. So these are pretty much the only charges, and the only place you can get the charges is from those beholders. These charges are the ones that level up the rocks. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill enough of these things to level up my rocks. Anyway, let's just feed my rock these charges. See how far we leveled him up there. Let's have a look. What level are you now? 650 out of 1,000. I don't think I leveled him up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still level 1. We're just past the halfway mark. It's going to take forever to level these guys up. It's really stupid how rare those charges are. Well, I mean, I only use these guys for like quick little flights, but okay, looks like we have an ice dragon down there. That is the silver one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to take it out though. I'm pretty sure I've got enough silver scales to make a full set of armor. This is a really cool area though with the pillars of ice. Looks pretty awesome actually. The snow biomes are actually pretty rare. They're not super common, that's for sure. I like to check out these caves for is that looks like frozen stone down there. Let's just check this because interesting. Okay. This is usually a sign of an underground ice dragon lair. Yeah, we've got sapphires. I've got my dragon's eye set to detect sapphires. And the amount of sapphires that are through here, combined with this frozen stone, I'm pretty sure there's an underground ice dragon lair through here. So I'm going to mark this on the map, and we'll actually come back for this pretty soon. If not in the next episode, probably the one after that, because I want to hunt some tier 5 dragons, which are the ones that you find underground in these lairs, to try and get some dragon eggs. But we're not going to do that in this episode. We're going to save that for a special episode coming up. Let's just get out of this hole here. Keep exploring. Man, that's I think that's like the second one I've found ever in like nearly 1,000 days of playing on this world. They're pretty hard to find actually. The other one I found by pretty much just continually digging with my back prior to this patch, when I had my pick taking out whole chunks at a time. I would just like carve my way through a mountainside in the ice biomes and try and find one. And I did find one that I've marked on my map. I haven't actually gone into it yet. But yeah, they're not they're not, definitely not common. Oh, this is the new mega battle tower, guys. So I'm not going to battle my way through every single floor and kill every single mob in this thing, but I'm going to show you guys the layout of these, and this is how I got all the mob kills in between episodes and tons of XP as well. And they're also probably the best way to get emeralds right now, because the top few floors here have a lot of illagers that drop emeralds when you kill them, especially if you've got, you know, advanced looting 3 on your sword. So I'll show you guys the bottom level first and how it's laid out and stuff like that. There's an entrance here somewhere around the outside on the bottom level, just here. And yeah, basically all the floors are pretty much the same. There's a ton of spawners all over the place. There's witches, creeper spawners, skeleton spawners, wither skeleton spawners, illager spawners, spider spawners, all that stuff. There's also a bunch of chests that you'll find in the same location on each floor. So these ones right here, and they get slightly better loot as you go up. But anyway, what I do to level up and get XP and stuff like that is just kill every single mob until the spawners disappear, and then move up to the next level. But as you move up to the levels above the ground floor, you're going to see that the floor has tons of holes in it. And so you fall through pretty easily, especially if you get knocked back by an explosion or whatever. So I like to kill everything on the ground floor until they just stop dropping through and stuff like that. But if you're just after the loot, let me just get a drink here. If you're just after the loot, let's grab that meat. You can just fly up to the top floor here. And you do need a pick that will get through obsidian, but if you break your way through this level, actually that's too high. If you break your way through this floor right here, and then you drop through, this is basically the final loot room. And you got a bunch of these things flying around. There's spawners in the roof, as you probably noticed when we broke through into that top area up there. But there's no loot up there. There's just spawners as far as I can tell. But these caged chests, there's always these 3 single caged chests, and these can have some pretty good stuff in them. So if you check in here, you're going to find stuff like XP tomes, ghast tears, diamonds, potion rings, stuff like that, baubles, all sorts of stuff here, sapphires, and find emeralds and stuff like that. Let's see what's in this one over here. So you can get, you know, spectral seal, forbidden fruit. I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. They spawn those, and yeah, a whole bunch of diamond gear and stuff like that. So I mean, if you can pick your way through, I'm not sure if there's obsidian. Yeah, it looks like you're gonna have to pick your way through obsidian to get into this loot room, unless you come up the stairs all the way from the bottom, fight your way up. But yeah, it's really good for XP, and because there's tons of villagers in the floors below this, the next 2 or 3 floors below this one, like you can see there's villagers spawning. You can basically just kill those for emeralds and get stacks and stacks of emeralds out of these mega battle towers. So they're actually pretty good. They're pretty challenging, but once you get geared up, they're actually a good source of emeralds and other gear like that. So they're pretty cool. Anyway, we are gonna make our way down here. And that's probably where we will leave this episode for today. Let's just chuck some of this junk out here. In the next episode, what I want to do is I want to fight the new Aberration Dungeon, just to see what the new bosses are, what the new layout is like, and stuff like that. Maybe get some of that new Aberration Stone as well. And yeah, we're gonna be experimenting with some of the changes. Maybe looking at dyeing some of our Lycanite's equipment. Go away, you. And we might even fight some tier 5 dragons as well. So there's the regular battle tower. There's the mega battle tower. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Slippy Jim out.